Hello everybody, today in today's forecast we'll be discussing a absolute wind threat, an absolute wind bag. I'm talking 100, maybe even higher than 100 mile per hour wind gusts out of the storm. We are expecting a possible derecho today, and with derechos you can get several tornadoes, or you may not get very many tornadoes at all. On my birthday, February 26th of 2023, we had a derecho come across Texas and Oklahoma with damaging winds and several tornadoes across Oklahoma. That was a pretty interesting event. And then back in 2021, we had a derecho that had a lot of tornadoes up here in the upper Midwest, like Iowa, Missouri, kind of up here. And then, if I remember correctly, that's what that was. But now we're dealing with interesting events. Storms will fire off up here in northwestern Oklahoma, southwestern Kansas, far north Texas, and the Panhandle there, and they will travel southeast. And the cold front kind of stretches out, kind of like this. So I do expect storms to fire off literally anywhere on that line, and we are in a very unstable, warm, unstable field environment. Let's go ahead and look up here. By the way, we do have this strong low up here that could help influence this a bit here. So let's go ahead and go on. In this storm up here will kind of give us a edge for these storms to fire here. It's going to be another, I think it could be another overnight event. But this low, kind of strong low here, swings down and does some jet stream energy does come all the way down and clips Oklahoma. So that we're gonna have to keep a close eye on that. But the cold front is gonna be the main trigger today. We do have a dry line set up out west, but it's gonna kind of collapse later today, and we're gonna and everything's gonna kind of fire off the cold front eventually. So let's go ahead and go to temperatures. And right now, at my current time of 1:47, it's about 17Z. 18Z is about 3 o'clock, I believe. No, 18Z is you know, hey, I'm gonna check my time sheet real quick. Should always have this up really when I'm making forecast. Anyways, okay, it's about noon for 18Z. So right now, a lot of moisture is still being pulled from the Gulf of Mexico, and this is helping influence some of these warm temperatures across Oklahoma, upper 80s and low 90s as early as noon. And then throughout the day, look at that. It's just later in the afternoon. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That is very, very warm temperatures. Look at them down here in the target area. Look down here in the target area. That is just quite a bit of 90s over there. We're talking mid to upper 90s. That's very, very hot. And it's very, very unstable. Then here comes the cold front. This is about the cold front right here as it crashes down south. And this is about just after 6 p.m. And this derecho is going to kind of come off of that. And then soon after 6 p.m., after about midnight here, I believe this is about 9 o'clock. So it's going to be about midnight. The cold front and the derecho will be far south. It's going to be a very fast mover. It'll be very, very fast. And then here is the moisture. Again, I just mentioned a lot of moisture has been being pulled up from the Gulf. We're seeing 70s across Oklahoma and North Texas. That is a lot, and I mean a lot of fuel for storms. So, and as this continues to go throughout the day, we'll see more and more moisture in Oklahoma, and then the cold front will crash down south, pushing the majority of that moisture down south and southeast. But we'll still have some moisture. We may have a shower or two left over behind the cold front just by all that moisture we still have. And let's go ahead and go to the severe weather stuff. Here is mixed layer Cape. And as of now, with that moisture returning, we already have 3,000, 4,000, maybe even a spot or two of 4,000 or 5,000 joules per kilogram. And as this it should continue to kind of rise throughout the day. And here is Monday around 6 or 7 o'clock. We still have a big pocket of very unstable air, and that is just horrible right there, because this is just, look at that. It's a little spread out, and I think that might be good. But that doesn't look like good. Like 4,000, maybe a spot or two of up to 5,000 joules per kilogram. That's not good at all. It's horrible. Let's go ahead and look at the significant tornado parameter and the autographs after this here. So right now, as the moisture continues to rise up throughout the day, luckily the tornado parameter doesn't show to be very high, which is good, but with the derechos, they can be very, very unpredictable. So like right here, we have a bit of a spike here, and a little further to the south, likely in relation to the cold front. But if we continue throughout the day here, this was just after 6, so we continue throughout the day. We do see a couple more spikes as the derecho kind of goes down south, the cold front. Maybe a tornado or two over here, so keep a close eye on that for sure. Let's go and check out autographs, see what they look like. I mean, surface-based cape, this is showing almost 6,000 here, which is just insane. These are kind of long and enlarged, so I mean, like throughout the day, it's definitely favorable for tornadoes anywhere really. Look at the autographs; they're long, straight, not really curved all that much, and then when that cold front comes through, it does mess everything up. So definitely, the autographs are nice and enlarged, which is not good because that means that environment is favorable for tornadoes. That's when they seem kind of enlarged like that and long. It's not good. So that means it is a favorable environment for tornadoes. And surface-based cape here does just kind of have a big kind of burst of energy too. It's not good. So definitely keeping an eye on the autographs throughout the day and the significant tornado parameter. Let's go ahead and go into reflectivity now. And there is already a couple showers and thunderstorms bubbling up around the area where I did mention that these storms would fire. So keeping a close eye on those as they continue out to the south and southeast. And these storms kind of further east, these storms that move further east, we're talking southwest Missouri, southeastern Kansas, and northern Oklahoma. These need to be watched closely because these are still in a very favorable environment. Let's say maybe large hail, damaging winds, and maybe a couple tornadoes right there. And the main risk out here in the Texas Panhandle, we're talking maybe an isolated strong tornado possible, and very large hail. We can have some 5-inch hail today, which is just incredible. And then throughout the day here. And then these storms will continue to kind of develop and move to the southeast. And here's the problem. You can see that kind of very strong bow signature right here. That's going to be damaging winds from Oklahoma City to Lawton to Wichita Falls and Lubbock, Texas, almost to Lubbock. Or Lubbock, Texas. And so you can have spin-up tornadoes anywhere in that line. And there is some development behind it. These shouldn't be severe at all, but in the case they do, they'll be like marginally severe. And there are some showers and thunderstorms ahead of it. Could be severe, strong to severe. But just watching that go by, continue out to the east, it'll eventually become more of a squall line than a derecho as it continues out to the east. And before it crosses the Mississippi, here there's that, and there's going to be some again showers and storms behind it by just how much moisture there is going to be left over. But man, look at that. That Derecho is a. This is a very strong storm. If it is a Derecho, because look at this. It goes from north of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, through Wichita Falls, Texas, and almost out to Lubbock, Texas. We need to keep a very close eye on the entire line, because we can have any sort of spin up tornado or a longer lived tornado in here. Right now, main threat for tornadoes will be out here when these storms, not these current ones right here, but when these storms are kind of isolated. And real quick, before we go to the Storm Prediction Center, I do want to look at the damn 3 kilometer CONUS, just to see what they're saying about it here, what this model's saying about it. And again, showers, thunderstorms begin to bubble up here, kind of on the cold front. And oops. And these will shift east southeast, and it kind of shows something similar to the HRRR, but it does pull it up further north. But anything anywhere on that line, strong to severe, damaging wind gusts, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 miles per hour. They may a couple tornadoes possible. So definitely. That's just because it does show the derecho falling apart significantly as it continues east of the Mississippi. I don't think that's going to happen, but in the case that does, keeping it close on it, here's a significant tornado parameter. Shows almost nothing besides down there in North Texas, so we could see a couple tornadoes down there with the autographs. I mean, they look more curved and okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, they're straight, enlarged, so. And then when that cold front crashes down, yeah, so autographs still look like tornado producers here. So we need to keep a close eye on those. Now let's go to the Storm Prediction Center. Oopsies. And we are dealing with this level 4 out of 5 moderate risk. From southwest Oklahoma to North Texas, this includes Dallas, Wichita Falls, Texas, and Fort Sill and Lawton, Oklahoma. And I think they should move it to the north, possibly because of the derecho. Oh, sorry. Oh, voice crack. If the derecho can shift further to the north, or become just as strong to the north. So even Oklahoma City, maybe even Lubbock, Texas, you need to be prepared for 100 mile per hour winds. Because both models brought this derecho further north and goes straight through Oklahoma City. So, and there's another level 2 slight risk off to the eastern coast. We do actually have a tornado watch out there. Here's the tornado risk. 2 areas of 5%. One big one from the Texark, this region between Louisiana, Arkansas, and Texas. It stretches throughout all of pretty much the Red River Valley. This includes Dallas, Abilene, Lubbock, Amarillo, Texas, Fort Sill, Lawton, Norman, Moore, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and a 5% off the eastern coast there for a couple storms out there. We have a 2%. Oh, excuse me. There's a 2% risk, ranges from northeast to Oklahoma into Missouri. This includes Woodward, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Springfield, Kansas City, Missouri, and Jefferson, Missouri, and Hannibal, Illinois, just to throw in an Illinois town, apparently. So anywhere, again, any of these storms that can fire off up here and move, I think we'll see maybe a little more development up here in northern Oklahoma off the cold front. We'll just have to wait and see. And here's the wind threat, the main threat for the day. A 30% hatch risk. Again, that circles out Oklahoma City, Norman, Fort Sill, Lawton, Wichita Falls, Dallas, Abilene, Lubbock, Amarillo, and that 45% risk where we can see the 100 mile per hour wind gust. I think we could see 100 mile per hour wind gust further up to the north in Oklahoma City and more in Norman and surrounding areas because that derecho does appear to be further north. We'll just have to wait and see what happens there. And then a hail risk does exist. We could see a couple hailstones as big as 5 inches. Let's see here. Where'd it go? I'm just blind. There it is. 3 to 5 inches in diameter are likely. So yeah, definitely some very large hail, baseball, softballs, maybe even up to DVD size. So that is just incredible, and we will take a quick look into tomorrow. Maybe a couple brief tornadoes from far western Pennsylvania all the way down to the deep south, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas. Big level to slight risk, but the main risk should be wind and, well, not hail, but wind. And we do have a little wind and hail risk for elevated storms out here in eastern New Mexico and western Texas. But that will sum up today's forecast. Stay weather aware. I will be going live tonight on the pretty much big windbag threat from Texas and North Oklahoma all the way down to Dallas. So stay safe, stay aware, and be safe. Even Oklahoma City, again, be safe. And I'll be live later today.